Hey, it's a book haul. Hey, friends, what's up? This is a book haul. I went to McKay's.
Your destination is on the left.
Well, I'm on my way to Costco, friends. Gotta get stuff for the family. Costco. I think they misspelled Costco. And also, they put a McKay's where the Costco was. I think I'm at McKay's. So, yes, the stuff I got, some of it was from McKay's and some of it's from VJ's. And one of it is from a good friend of mine. So let's jump right into what I got. First up is Walking with Ghosts by Brian James Freeman. I read Doing Dirty Work and I loved it. It was a great little chapbook that Brian James Freeman sent out to all his Patreon supporters. Please support Brian James Freeman on Patreon. And I commented in that video that I really liked it. And a friend of mine, All the Small T's, a great tea YouTuber you should check out. Go check him out, All the Small T's. And he's like, hey, I have 12 or 11 copies of Brian James Freeman's Walking with Ghosts book because it includes a short story that I did read previously that's just like a gut punch. It's a brilliant story titled The Last Beautiful Day. And so I was saying, yeah, I remember that story. I don't remember where it is. And Joshua was like, hey, I'll send you one of my copies. He also sent me a bunch of books for my daughter to read. And so thank you so much, Joshua. That was a very generous move. And I will be very happy to add this to my shelf and read these stories. Brian James Freeman's a great author with a lot of heart. Up next are two books I got because I'm part of the VJ Books Book Steward program, and I keep forgetting that I'm part of the VJ Books Book Steward program, which is an automatic delivery mechanism that VJ Books has. So you select the authors you love and need to get new releases from, and they will send you books from that author that you've specified, signed first editions, to your door without even having to consider it. They're automatic. And that's the danger, right? Because it's automatic. They sent me two books that I didn't intentionally order, but I did want. I'm glad I got. Now I have. So the first one is Spin a Black Yarn by Josh Malerman. This is a collection of novellas from one of my must-read authors. But what shocked me was it's a paperback. This is Bird Box, boy. This is the guy. He's a national New York Times best-selling author of Bird Box. It says right there on the cover. Why aren't you supporting this book with a hardcover publication? This is like a flimsy paperback. I thought it was a mistake. Then I looked on Amazon and no, there are no hardcovers of Spin a Black Yarn. Big mistake. You're pissing me off, Del Rey. Why would you do this? I know I'm just one person and I don't matter in the scheme of things, but it was annoying. Funny thing is, I also got Joe Lansdale's collection of crime stories called Things Get Ugly. And it's also a paperback. Like, what are the odds that two brand new releases, signed first editions, are both paperbacks? from two of my must-read authors. It's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. So I got these two from VJ's books, who I thought they were retiring, but they're still going strong. Congrats. All right, so what did I get at McKay's since I had to bother you with that footage? Did I actually get anything? McKay's in Chattanooga is an amazing experience. If you're in Tennessee, there's one in Knoxville, there's one in Chattanooga. I think there might be one in Nashville. Definitely check it out if you're anywhere near it. It's like a treasure hunt. And this time I actually did find treasure. Let me start with this one. Womb by Duncan Ralston. This is a book. It says right there, an extreme horror novel. I think that's a lie because this is definitely a novella. Super short, but I guess if you want to call it a novel, you can, do whatever you got to do, Duncan. But this was making the rounds all over books of horror. And everybody's like, I love Womb. I hate Womb. Womb is garbage, whatever. So I want to read it just to see what all the kids are about because I want to feel young. I want to feel relevant. I'm desperate. But right after I shared this on my live, my most recent live, go Jeff Your Shelf episode 104 if you need the reference. And afterwards, someone messaged me and said, this book is garbage. So I'm like, well, I paid $5 for garbage, but that's subjective. I might not think it's garbage. Somebody during the live said they loved this book. So obviously, opinions vary. I also got Necroscope 4 Dead Speak for $2.75. And I'm thrilled. This is one, I lost a bunch of paperbacks in like a basement flood once. And this was one that I lost. I love the Necroscope series. I love the paperback editions. It takes me right back to high school when I devoured these. And it's such an original take on vampires. There's also like espionage, supernatural stuff, horror, sci-fi. This series is, I guess you could say, horror. It's published by Tor Horror, but it branches so many genres. It's a totally crazy. It's also fantasy because Necroscope 3, The Source, is I would say a total dark fantasy novel. So I'm overdue for rereading these. I may reread it. I'm going to have to read it in paperback form because my editions vary. I have Necroscope in paperback and hardcovers, the whole series. So it'll have to flip back and forth, and it'll be a trip to read it in paperback form. I also picked up The Queen of Bedlam for my wife's brother-in-law. I don't know if there's a word for that relation. He's not my brother-in-law because he's married to my wife's sister. Did you think there'd be a genealogical quiz in this video? Because I guess it is a quiz. I call him Broham. Anyway, I converted him to become a new McCammon fan because McCammon's going to be at the Alabama Booksmith Bookshop in October to promote 7 Shades of Evil, which is a L'Oreal color palette. It's his new book of short stories set within the Matthew Corbett series. And I gave him Speaks the Nightbird, which I also bought from McKay's previously. And he read it and he loved it. And he's now reading Swan Song. And he's like, this is my new favorite author. This is my boy crush. I don't know. He's like all about McCammon now. So I'm like, well, let's keep that fire going. Let's keep the party going with Queen of Bedlam. So I found this there and I picked it up for him. Why not? His birthday's coming up someday. And so the funny thing is I have not read Queen of Bedlam or any of the other subsequent Matthew Corbett novels. So I am also going to top pile this on my TBR. And once I'm done with the mystery book, I can't tell you what I'm reading, I will jump into Queen of Bedlam and then maybe Dune. I don't know, eventually. So A lot of people feel this is one of the strongest entries into the Matthew Corbett series, so I am pumped. This was a total impulse buy, and yes, I judged the book by the cover. This is Raw Pain Max by Dean Anderson, or C. Dean Anderson, as he's also known. This is like, this is just crazy. You look at this cover and you're like, come on, what is going on here? There is some femdom stuff going on here. It's going to be bonkers. And I'm like, I have to read it. Apparently, it has Amazon women and Countess Bathory tie-ins. But the real clincher of why I bought this, like you see this on the shelf, I saw the spine and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I saw the cover and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I saw the price. It was only 90 cents. I'm like, I gotta do it just for the channel, just for the content. Somebody on my stream, again, Go Jeff Your Shelf, episode 104, said that Dean Anderson is actually a better writer than this cover would imply. So I may be in for a treat. I'll find out. I'm going to read this. I swear to God I will. I swear to God. I swear to God I'm going to read this book. And then finally, I actually found one hell of a score. This is the sort of thing you hope to find at used bookstores and thrift shops and things like that. You're like, I'm hoping to find the book that slipped through the cracks, that the people didn't know what they had, and they stocked it with a price that's absurdly low for what it is. And it happens sometimes. I remember once I found a signed first edition 7th printing of Fight Club. I'm like, damn, and I bought that with a quickness. It was signed. I found signed books at thrift shops, but not at McKay's. I think those people are a little more savvy. Anyway, they had this book, Palmetto by Anya Alborn. This was the paperback that came in the Nightworms package. And it is like an $80 book, and I didn't pay that. So I am going to do the flipper thing. I'm going to turn around and sell this in Books of Horror for what I think is a reasonable price. But this, I already have this book. I have it on my shelf. This is signed only as a Thunderstorm book. Never got a wide release trade edition. And so, wow, I couldn't. And it's a great story. It's a really creepy story about a woman who's pregnant. Her and her husband buy a new house, so she has all these stresses going on. First baby, big new home purchase. All these stressors are combining, and it's sort of, there's a tipping point in the book that has to do with these palmetto bugs. So I love the story. I'm glad I have a copy, and now I'm going to have one to sell. But crazy find. Again, you go to McKay's. Don't go to the one I go to, because I don't want you to clean it out of all the treasures before I get there, because I like to have content and then sell it for an inflated price. But definitely go to any other McKay's around and go see what they have. It is a lot of fun to hunt out the books and fill in the spots in your collection, and maybe find something crazy like a signed edition, but just the general treasures. I mean, we all love books, and I found a lot of McCammon stuff, some Patrick McCabe stuff that was really underpriced because not a lot of people read Patrick McCabe. So anyway, I've been able to fill out my McCarthy collection really nicely at McKay's. So get over and check it out. I, of course, will be happy to buy their treasures and share them with you, so you don't have to go to McKay's. Don't you just love a used bookstore? Oh, they feel so warm and welcoming. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for joining me this time. I hope to see you again the next time. And in the meantime, stay frosty. Reading books is just staring at dead trees and hallucinating for hours.